Hey everybody, we're back. More of Game Arena's Double Duel coming at you right now. We got Ohio Wesleyan going to be taking on Goats and Glory, representatives of the U.S. Navy, if I remember correctly. I know we literally just talked about this. But yeah, we've got ourselves a nice matchup here. Goats and Glory, both Ohio Wesleyan and Goats and Glory so far have gone 0-2 in their matchups so far. Both of them looking to get their first win on the board.
Sorry, the producer may have said something a bit
Yeah, the
silly
producer's trying to throw us off our game. Come on, man. We were in a vibe. We were locked in, and then you had to hit us with the PNG, bro. Come on.
But I do think it's important to mention, based on the fact that you did just say both these teams have gone down 0-2. Ohio Wesleyan has had a bit more struggle here. They went 1-13 against Sussy players, who we did just witness, and 4-13 against Manchester. Meanwhile, Goats and Glory lost 2-13 to Ohio State, and then they played, who was it, Ohio Northern next, right?
Yes, they would have just played them, if I remember correctly.
And it was much closer, I do believe. I think somewhere around
13-9.
Like 13-9, yeah, so much closer than one might expect. But like, there's always questions about that, right? I will say, admittedly, in my experience, from what I remember about Ohio Northern, it could have changed to this day. They do tend to chill max a little bit, and what I mean by that, if it's not clear, is against opponents that they deem are easier to beat, they won't take it so seriously. They'll play a little bit leaning back, they'll chill out a little bit, and they won't be at 100% power, right? They've lost a few matches due to the chill maxing, I will say, from my experience, from what I've seen. If that is still the case, that could admittedly be a reason why Goats and Glory did manage to take 9 off of them, but at the same time, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. And I think that's the first time I've heard someone unironically saying chill maxing. I will not lie.
I mean, quite frankly, I only say it because I said it before this whole maxing thing went out of control and people started doing frame mogging or whatever the heck it is. I don't know. Something Arizona State. I don't know.
Sorry, there's a Twitter clip now that I'm thinking about. But taking us over to Haven on this map. Obviously, we saw this earlier in the broadcast. Ohio Northern taking on Manchester. It was a pretty close affair. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out with our last two teams that have not had the chance to be on the broadcast.
Yeah, and again, that is an important thing for the bracket, but it's an important thing to mention. Neither of these teams have been on broadcast yet, and this is a round robin, right? And for those of you who aren't aware, a round robin simply means that these two teams are going to play every team at the venue, right? Whether or not they're going to play them now, whether or not they're going to play them later, at some point, they will play every other team. So at the end of this, there's 6 teams. Somebody's going to be 5-0, somebody's going to be 0-5.
Yeah, so still a lot of games left, well, for these two teams. This one and then 2 more right at the midway point in both these teams' ventures forward. And as far as agent selections go, almost identical, very close lobby-wise to what we saw in that first Haven match, the side of Ohio Wesleyan opting to emulate Ohio Northern. But for Goats and Glory, we're seeing a couple of different things. Quill opting to go for that jet. It's obviously not locked in, but it's being hovered, so I would be willing to at least put some stock into that. But Seawolf on the Brimstone, I want to get your read on this.
So Brimstone, I mean, I'm not the person to be giving reads on Valorant meta. I'm going to be entirely honest with you, my friend.
I brought it up, so I was like, I'm going to ask you, and then I'll give my take on it eventually.
I'll give my take on it. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, with the Brim, right, if I'm not mistaken, he has the most immediately available smokes at any given time. So if you're planning on playing a map like Haven, I can absolutely see it. Right, just to try to go for like cutting off one sightline. I expect to see a little bit more C play potentially coming out here from Goats and Glory with the Brim, right? Where you can lock out garage, you can lock out defender side, you can lock out the corner, you can lock out a lot of spots with the Brim. On this map in particular, as Haven does have a lot of angles to be concerned with.
Yeah, my one personal concern with the Brim is with a map like Haven, you don't tend to have a lot of this is going to be our hit. There's a fair amount of poking and prodding, and usually one of the things that allows for a lot of that poking and prodding is smokes. And because Brim can't recharge, I worry a little bit if Goats and Glory, obviously starting on that offensive side, they can dictate the pace. If they end up playing a little bit slower where they're using more and more of their smokes for these more default motions, I worry a little bit about what could come of these rounds. But like you said, if they opt for that C play, we're going to be seeing a lot more of it. Neo already under fire, CRN able to take him out. And that's Goats and Glory with an early control over that C site.
And hey, maybe that's another thing. Maybe it's just because they're in the military, they want to play Brim because he's a military man. Maybe that's it. A regimented fellow. But I mean, look at how much space they are able to control even without the recharging smokes. The fact that they have a sheer quantity of smokes means that if you play a round fast enough, it doesn't matter whether or not it recharges, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, if they opt to play this a little bit slower, then we could run into some issues with the amount of smokes. But at the same time, if they opt to play it faster, you know, you won't really have those issues. Last alive, Magism will get taken down by Quill. That's Ghost and Glory first round on the board.
And not too bad for them, right? They rotate over to C when they see that there's nothing for them towards A, right? They make some very strong, quick decision making. They're snappy with it. They're not lurking around too long. And now looking into things, right, they do have the opportunity to go for a more greedy buy than they're currently showing, right? Currently CRN on the heavy shield. That is one thing that I'm confused about, why you would go full heavy shield on a bonus round. What is your take on that?
I mean, there are some guns where it's like having the heavies is actually going to help you. Heavies are going to make it so that you can, if you're at a longer range and play that longer angle, you can't get one-tapped by a deagle, which, I mean, is fair. Like, that's just how it is. But also, it is one of those things where, again, it's like, if you get damaged, it is going to put you down. Could make things hard, especially if you get later into the rounds. And especially because I really wouldn't be expecting Seawolf able to find two there of the flank, leaving really all that's left this forward push away, and it's going to be Breakaway able to find that. And the second, just through the smoke. K's last up, will drop. Routine round for Goats and Glory.
There was one kill that occurred in that round in which they actually saw the target, I just want to point out. Everything else was spam kills, which does show excellent communication, excellent uses of those smokes. As Ohio Wesleyan, they do have, you know, the ability to go for a full buy. They did get that, you know, solid enough defense on that first round. They got a couple of kills, right? So they do have enough to get mostly heavy shields and a couple of recharge shields, regen shields rather. They're going to be pretty dry on this, though. They need to win this round. They need to lock it down and show some very good strength here, or else I am terrified for how this is going to go.
Yeah, this could very easily run away fast. I think he's able to find one. The Phoenix taking out CRN, and big damage. High able to find that one onto Ace. 3 left. And for Ohio Wesleyan, they are just going to fall back. No reason to stay in a position where you're being hunted. So they'll opt for the safer play, leaving that B space open, so Goats and Glory might try to go over to something like that.
After a moment like that, though, they have to poke and prod and play super slow to see what space is available for them to grab, Breakaway. You can see this is very, very risky. Even though nobody is currently watching it for Ohio Wesleyan, all the space being taken up here by Breakaway is so scary, terrifying, in fact. And if they can keep all 5 players alive for Ohio Wesleyan, then they won't be too upset. And still, somehow, I feel so vindicated. I shouldn't feel this vindicated that they're going to see again.
I mean, yeah, they're just going to keep it up with the movement. Seawolf able to get the first pick onto the Omen. It allows for an upgrade for Quill.
And it's so bad, Emily, to give away that kill there. You should be trying to play for a full, easy 5 players alive, flawless round here. Even though you're playing against Guardians, that's what you should be hoping for. Is Breakaway's going to shut out any chances of 4 players remaining. Magism finds that one as well, but you're down to 3 rifles for this next round, at best.
Yeah, and the investment of the ult from Seawolf comes in. Neo able to find the pick onto Breakaway. Now just 2 left. Molly lineup is going to come through. Able to get some, I believe, the bomb being halved. And there's no time. It wasn't getting halved. So Goats and Glory. I believe the plan now.
What do you see as the plan?
I mean, Brim just with the stall that he can provide. He's a character that with that Molly, he's going to be able to do that as well as the ult. And the only character that can really like hard counter that is a Vito, but that's a very dangerous pick because Vito he's not bad, but he's very situational and he's either really good or just like average at best.
Yeah, and I am concerned. I'm sorry I'm stuttering so much. I don't know what's going on. But the Omen, not the Omen, the Brimstone, it's something, to bring back the old head in me. It's something that used to be fairly popular on this map, on Haven, a long time ago. And when you look at a level of play like this, I'm not going to say they can be behind, but things that used to work for a very good reason can still work to this day. And if it worked at the pro level, I mean.
Yeah, if there was stuff that was being played at that top, it definitely still can have legs. Quill able to find a second for the side of Goats. This TP move from Mytho. Alright, could do something. Yeah.
They're both flawless round they're setting up for.
Yeah, Goats just able to exercise control and just keep things rolling.
It's a dominant first half so far. 4 rounds in a row. Goats and Glory are looking to set this up to be like, can we just end this? Can we speed run this team at this point is what you're kind of looking at for Goats and Glory. Ohio Wesleyan at this point, what they're hoping for with the purchase of the Outlaw, something I don't really like in this situation, going off to the Marshall, I think I like that a little bit more. They just have to get a point on the board before they're even concerned about anything else.
Yeah, before you really are worried about winning the map, you got to start putting rounds on the board, and that's going to have to start with, honestly, maybe it doesn't have to start with the opening pick, but it's definitely got to start with getting some numbers on the board. Mytho. Ooh, deep angle. It's aggressed by Quill. Not expecting that timing. Will get taken down. Doesn't Glory take the time to reset now and find what their next target is going to be.
Such a sad timing there onto the Omen as Quill finds another kill. Goats and Glory are playing so far above the level that Ohio Wesleyan feels like they cannot keep up. And with these Omen smokes going down, again, we're seeing that example of controlling a lot of space at once rather than controlling space over time.
Yeah, and Goats, I mean, they're playing definitive. They're not really needing the recharge of the smokes. They're playing for that single hit, and on that single hit, they're finding so much value. I can see the rationale behind picking the Brimstone. There's no reason to opt into anything else if the pick is going to just do exactly what you want it to do.
That smoke almost acts as a flash there with how it blinds the player. The one-way smokes have been very good as well as another small thing. I feel like I don't see one-way smokes very often anymore. It might just be because on Omen it's a lot harder to get them than it used to be. They did a patch for that, I don't know how long ago, at least a few months ago.
It was at least a few months, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a bit, but Seawolf, I feel, has been doing a great job setting up one-way smokes for his team. 5-0 currently. 0 deaths. The only player on the field to be able to achieve such a thing.
Does anyone have funds?
Yeah, he's put himself into the fray only when it's a necessity. And Ohio Wesleyan trying to get something onto the board. Kays will get the pick, but a response from Breakaway. Even numbers. Ace finds another onto Neo. Now it's, unfortunately, after Ohio Wesleyan finding that early pick, things have slowed down.
For such an unfortunate type of round, though, you're going to be happy with 1 kill to bring it to a 3v4. A 2v4 gets a little bit more scary, but to open things up, get a couple of kills here, it's not bad looks. Even with just a stinger for Mageism here. I mean, they've done more than you could expect for a save.
Yeah, they have been able to get the multitude of picks. Might be able to find another onto CRN, unable to fully pull it across the board. Goats up 6-0, if I read that correctly.
Halfway to victory, pretty much. Just under at this point in time. Yeah, 6-0. Half of the rounds in this half have gone the way of Goats and Glory. Ohio Wesleyan, this is their time. If they want to invest a pause, this is where they should be doing it. And coming into this next round, right, they do have a full buy. They are going with K's on the shotgun. It's going to be the Bucky. An odd time. Like, this is really when I would want to invest a tactical timeout.
That would be something that I would expect. K's already going to be on the chamber op. Doesn't even look like he hits the first. He's not the one who's grabbed. Someone else is. CRN doesn't get the pick. Mageism able to find the response. Going back and forth. But Goats and Glory able to squeeze out the numbers. For now, Neo actually gets the response. And now it's an even 2v2.
And no Hunter's Fury for this retake either for Goats and Glory. This is a very winnable round all of a sudden for Ohio Wesleyan. As, I mean, you're going to see Neo going to try for something, but the Incendiary is going to slow down this corner, like you said before, stalling things out. And the Neon is actually going all the way behind here. High. Look at this angle.
He gets the spot on a Seawolf, finds it down to a 1v1 breakaway. One away from it, and the movement from Neon is able to put the first for ONU on the board. Or not ONU, Ohio Wesleyan, my bad. OWU. Ooh.
OWU? OWU, what's this?
No, we're not doing that. I'm ending that bit right now. I'm ending the bit. No.
It's good, though. It's good looks from Ohio Wesleyan to get some fight in them. This is, if there's any time, right? Early on is great, but this is the time where you kind of feel like you need to get something on the board is towards the middle of an unfortunate half. This does give you some momentum, right? You get the an opportunity to get that one on the field onto your chamber. You hold down the sideline, 60 HP, no heavy shields, no light shields even, is dangerous looks.
Yeah, the investment was really risky. I believe it would have been the option between the trip and lights, opting to go for the utility instead. Quill on this angle, maybe trying to find High, looking like maybe getting a little bit of damage into it. Nothing to be found. Snappy onto Mageism. That allows for High to get out and get the response. So, Goats and Glory, Ohio Wesleyan equalized at 4 apiece. Now looking for what the next step is.
High's taken just enough damage here to get, one shot but from long range by a Phantom, so it is slightly in favor of Goats and Glory, but that advantage is microscopic here. Admittedly, it's probably equaled out by the defensive advantage that Ohio Wesleyan has set for themselves, and the positioning that they have. Two players on A is going to be good to hold on to things, but the flexibility is not quite there, especially as you now hear B is the target.
Yeah, Goats and Glory gonna be inching in. Mytho at the back. Able to find the first. Now looking to work forwards.
Kind of tricking things up a little bit with the TP. Bait to go on High, perhaps. Neo finds 2 beautiful kills, and that's a one-way smoke set up by Seawolf. The player's gonna have to cover the defuse if they want to go for it. Incendiary, blowing things off.
Yeah, the Molly insta gonna tap on Neo. Now K's gotta stick it, will get shot down. Seawolf closing it out. Another round on the board for Goats and Glory.
And there is not much time left here for Ohio Wesleyan, right? 1-7. They don't have an opportunity to get a full buy here. If they go for anything, it's going to be super forces. You see Neo, 1,600 credits just off Light Shield and Utility. There's not enough credits to go around for even anything right now. I mean, the best you've got is this Bucky for Mageism. It's looking dire now, Emily.
Yeah, and unless you're really going to force on that offensive side, because obviously once you get them on the offense, it's a different story. You can really dictate the tempo and the pace. TP position not going to be great out there for K's. On that low buy, Recon's going to be able to find multiple. Neo going to get taken down. So is Mytho. And
These last two players.
Yeah, they're on that rotate, but been spotted out by the trip. High able to find the first, unable to find any more. CRN, he gets it. And Mageism last up.
Oh, what's this thing gonna do from that range?
Nothing.
He does actually kind of bait them to come forward with those classic shots, right? The Bucky is going to have a lot better damage here, and they've launched right into its effective range.
Yeah, the issue is just the wrap from Quill. He's ready for it. The issue is just that you got a classic, and Quill has a Vandal, so not gonna do ya very well.
You're still able to get 2 kills, though, which does take a little bit of money out of the pockets of Goats and Glory, but at this point, you're digging your way out of a 20-foot hole, and that front is... Oh, look at this. Just sheer amount of money that Goats and Glory is sitting on. The lowest they got is 3,900.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even though you get those 2 picks, it really doesn't matter when each player is approaching 8, 9K in the bank. You kind of just have to sit and take it.
I mean, look at this. Oh, Goats and Glory, they have such an econ advantage that even if they lose one round, they can play super cocky and super far forward, and they're not going to give away too much, like maybe a round or 2 here or there, but the money will still be good, and I mean, they're not even going to give anything away. They're just going to walk on a site.
Yeah, Quill and Breakaway, each finding 1. Now the players left for the side of Ohio Wesleyan. Things could get scary here for High. Gonna get the spot onto Ace, but already knew about the player. Down in Sewer will get dropped. Kays will be able to find the first. Unfortunately for Ohio Wesleyan again, forced into a 2v4.
Shock darts on top of the high ground, yeah.
Yeah. Last one up, Mageism. He's got the Vandal. Fortunately, not much more.
You just take it home if you can, and you can't even. CRN turns that corner. I feel like after... there's been so few times I'm not looking at these guys' faces. I feel like I'm looking at them more than I am the gameplay itself with how fast some of these rounds have been going.
Yeah, I mean, it really feels like it. Just the pace of play that Goats have decided to play with is just... It's hard to slow down, and Ohio Wesleyan, try as they may, try as they might, it just doesn't work. Second to last round of the half. In Ohio, they're gonna be investing as much in as they can. Unfortunately, still not enough to get a full buy through.
They do have a little bit of consolation here, right? The ult is available here for High, waiting to pop it, waiting for an opportunity. Just gonna leave, tells the team, hey, I think they're on A, and that would be a correct assumption.
Yeah, the placement though for Kays could do something. Fortunately, does get spotted out, so he is going to be known. TP broken as well, but I mean, whether the TP was up or not, it was useless from then on out. Now that side of ONU needs to break back in.
Smoke's covering Heaven, not going to let them in. From that point forward, Quill finds a beautiful lineup, but only finds 1. Neo with a wall bang, as Mythil drops as well. Ace found 2, and there's only 1 player remaining, and it's not going to go the way of Goats and Glory quite yet.
Yeah, Mageism, I mean, still has an opportunity in this round, able to find a really clean one with that second shot, unable to do it onto CRN, and if you look at that mini-map, Seawolf was waiting for the ability to throw that lineup, to throw the ult down and just keep things going.
I mean, if you're able to win this one out for Ohio Wesleyan, you can at least take solace in the fact that if you lose the next pistol, you do have that buffer to not give away the match just off of that, bonus round. As the timeout does finally come in, this one from Ohio Wesleyan, you need to find this round. I think this is probably the most important round to win. Simply put, again, because if you give this one away, you give the pistol away, then all of a sudden you're playing a bonus round and you have to force buy on it. That's the unfortunate part now, is Goats and Glory just on their phones as they're talking strategy.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the side of Ohio Wesleyan, yeah, you either win this round or you're down 1-11, and then it's like, okay, we either win the pistol or essentially just roll over. There's not much else that you can really be looking for at this point in the map. It's got to be this round and then a a great string on your offense. Not completely out of the question. Well, not completely out of potential, but still far ways away.
Even if they don't win this one out, I'm still hoping to see some more fight. That's ultimately my hope here from Ohio Wesleyan. I'm not anticipating this to be, a complete blowout. They're able to fight back, bring things back from the brink. But I do hope to see a little bit more fight. Give me a second, give me a third, give me a fourth round here for Ohio Wesleyan.
Unfortunately, High trying to go fast will get caught out by Ace. So, with the idea of a play, unfortunately, nothing to be found.
Get out of my way.
I do respect the idea, but I mean, had dodged the owl drone, could have just hit away for a moment there as Neo finds the first shot to bring things back to their side of things. The regen shield's going to hop off to 50 HP total there.
Yeah. K's with a position. Quill just with one knife going to be able to close things out. The ult from Neo, unable to find anything. Magism and Neo, all that is left, but I mean, Magism getting tagged by that ult. Both these players just so darn low. Quill finds that. Neo gets popped as well. Goats and Glory up 11-1.
Switching sides.
A clear showing that Goats and Glory's first match might have just been a fluke from this team. They lost to Ohio State Scarlet 2-13 as a reminder, and they are feeling much more confident. Might have just needed the warm-up. They've only been playing better and better every single match, and this is no exception. They do need to, win this pistol out, win it on even footing. It's the first time in a hell of a while, admittedly, that they've had even footing in a match. But if they can win this one out, even by even money, Quill going for the Sheriff, then they are almost guaranteed to win the match.
Yeah. I mean, you said it like perfectly. If you're Ohio Wesleyan, you need to get this round. Like, this is not like, it would be really nice if you got this round. It'd help your chances. This is like, if you don't get it, that's pretty much just game, like, low-key. Goats and Glory, though, are going to opt to go aggressive on this flank breakaway. Able to find one. Mythal. Find good damage.
I mean, all the players for Goats and Glory have been taking some pretty big chunk damage here, except for CRN, who has now fallen. It's Neo alone, but against three players with a combined, 40, 50 HP? This is doable, especially now they've got the read on the rotate.
It's doable. He could just loop back into B. It's looking much nicer. Might try to go back into A, though, and that's where I start to worry. Because that's where Quill and Breakaway are, and they've been some of the biggest impact in this round. This biggest impact that's still up. That drop should be heard. So will the shots. It's going to bait him. Not even going to know about Quill.
The
gonna
knife.
Go for the knife. When you're up 11-1, dude. Now, Goats and Glory, I mean, they're one round away. If you're Ohio Wesleyan, if you want to win this, you literally have to play flawless from here on out. And that means you have to buy pretty much every round. And the unfortunate circumstance is just they do not have the money for it.
Even in the best case scenario, they win this round out, then what? They have to buy up. Maybe they can, carry on like this Vandal from CRN if they win this round. Maybe they can carry on this Guardian. But this whole time, I feel like I've been talking about if they can win this out, if they can win this out, if they can win this round, then they are in good positioning next round. Ace finds that first kill and makes me need to say it's not about if you can win this round. Now it is just about win this round or that's it.
Yeah, it's like it's win this round or GG's. And unfortunately, you're already down 2. Seawolf on the site with the Ares. He'll be able to find one. Spam doesn't quite connect, but he's able to find the second onto Magism. Mythal able to find that one with the Bandit. TP gets spotted. He's going to have the Stinger, but only 5 in the chamber. Doesn't matter. The drop from Breakaway. And I mean, that's just game. Like 13-1. Yeah, I can't even really say anything about that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it was tough. It was an unfortunate situation to be put up against there as Ohio Wesleyan. Not happy about that one. There's not much else that could have been done. Okay, maybe they're actually pretty happy. They're waiting on somebody to come back, it seems. But it was a very strong showing there from Goats and Glory to put them kind of right at the similar level as Sussy, right? Sussy players, they beat this team 13-1. Meanwhile, Manchester beat them 13-4. That does put Goats and Glory on that sort of upper level compared to what we might have expected, right? After that first match, we were saying like, okay, maybe these guys aren't so great. Maybe they're bottom 2. Now they're kind of being worth being talked about as like top 3, top 2.
Yeah, it's put them into more of a discussion of potentially making it to that championship Sunday. Just in general, definitely more potential. MVP for that map coming through. I mean, it's Quill, 19-7, 337 ACS, 3 first bloods. Like, it's kind of hard to beat that. I'm not gonna lie.
It was disgusting. Like, there's not really many words I can say besides just disgusting for Goats and Glory. Like, every single player went positive. Every single player went crazy. It was Valorant.
Yeah, that was kind of what it was. That was kind of the story of the match. Hello. Welcome in. Here you go. And as we have been able to do, joined by one of the players of the winning team, Quill, stepping in. So first of all, congratulations on the victory. You know,
Thank
a solid 13-1 out there. I mean, your performance was just kind of electric. I'm not going to lie. Like, every time we swapped, it was like, oh, well, yeah, he's getting picks.
I mean,
that's
thank God.
about that.
You know, thank God the stream couldn't see the last 2 games, but those are our 3rd game playing Haven so far in the tournament. So we
You guys had Haven every round?
We played Haven every single time.
Oh my God. I know what there's a producer in this chat who would be just dying if he had to do Haven every single game.
Yeah, Haven's one of our strong maps, but it was also like, all right, the 3rd time was like, come on, man, please.
Let's try something
Lotus,
different.
Fine, give me something. I'll play Fracture at this point.
Give me some variety in life, please.
Exactly.
But I do want to ask. You know, you said a moment ago that you had a couple of unfortunate losses, right? It's been rough for you guys so far. Do you think you just needed some time to warm up, or do you think you just had a brutal upward schedule?
I think maybe both a little bit, because we definitely, the Rivals tournament definitely dragged a little longer than we were expecting. So we were definitely a little cold going into it. Iced out maybe if we got here a little earlier, or brought some laptops, just played a random ranked match beforehand.
I mean, yeah, just like stay online, keep things going.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. I mean, I was gonna say, so you've played the Haven 3 times. I do want to talk to you a little bit about the composition that you have on Haven, because you have Seawolf playing on the Brimstone, and it's something that it's a little unorthodox compared to, I think, what a lot of teams have been favoring towards more. You seeing maybe a little bit more like Astra, Omen, Clove, something with a little bit more of the recharge. Can you walk me through the thought process as to bringing Brimstone onto the map instead?
Yeah, it's 2 solid words. Lineup Larry.
That makes sense.
He is our
Yep.
god of post plant. He is, we get, that's like what, 15 seconds post plant if we ever get the bomb down, and that's assuming that you even fight for like that early control.
Exactly.
It's just, we can fight as erratic as we want post plant, because we know that if we get it down to the last 20 seconds, they're not finding him. He's got a lineup for every site on every part of the map. He's not down long. He could be on A.
He's just, you don't know where he is.
Yeah,
but
that
wherever
Molly's coming
he is,
from somewhere.
I see. I was going to say, I think in the map, I was like, okay, I can see the rationale behind that. And then I think I started to see it, especially when you guys were on attack for all of those. I was like, yeah, if they get bombed down, it's just like, it's kind of wraps. Like,
yeah, you gotta send someone like a Neon to go hunting down across the map, because he's shift walking in a corner somewhere, just hiding, waiting for the little timer in his head to go off, just fire the molly off.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I was gonna say, I mean, like, I would love to ask more about the adaptation that had to happen in the map, and how you guys were able to overcome challenges that came in. But like, it was a 13-1. Like,
yeah, thank God. We needed that.
I mean, I was gonna say, big confidence booster. I'd imagine. You know, everybody.
At some point, we just started running down. We're like, all right, we're feeling it again, guys. We remember how to shoot.
It's like, hey, wait a second, we might be able to just kill these guys. Wait a second. But no, yeah. I mean, hey, you guys performed great. Like, you gave us a good show up here on the mainstream. We got any more questions left up here? I'd love to ask more. I'd love to pick your mind. But, like, I mean, from that match, it's kind of like, hey, how did it feel to shoot the gun?
It felt amazing. Okay, running it down, it was the best experience. There was one part I think I got a little too overzealous. I was chasing a Neon down. I thought he would be sliding, and he was just standing there looking at me. Yeah, so unfortunate.
The last question I would have for you, right? I think that you did have the 2 hardest opponents to start off with, and then, admittedly, I think you did have one of the easier opponents heading into this with Ohio Wesleyan. Your last 2 are Manchester and Sussy players. Do you think that you're just gonna be able to take those 2-0? What are your expectations for those two teams?
So, playing the hardest team, the first game, we definitely weren't warmed up. It was definitely a hard pill to swallow. Second game, arguably a lot closer, 13-9, considering the team we're facing. So I think if we do lose these next two games, I'm going to say it's got to go to overtime. There's no way we're going to get stomped out after we've had this kind of warm-up. I feel like the setup for this definitely had a slow start, a hard start, but I think we'll finish strong.
I see. Yeah, with those last two games, obviously, like all them being played on the same day, you kind of get that as the day goes on. You warm a little bit more into it. Now it's like, all right, we're shooting the gun now. We can start to work a little bit more.
Yeah, if we get Haven 2 more times, where's this match? This map
Hey, listen,
on,
I mean,
what can I say?
It'd be like that sometimes,
Hopefully they haven't been watching how we play. Then they just know all our strats at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think many of the teams are going to have a lot of opportunity to do like mid-set VOD review with how fast we're getting these things rolling.
True,
so.
They are flying by.
Yeah. But no, thank you for stepping in. I don't want to waste any more of your time. You got more matches coming up. So before you go, any final thing you want to say to broadcast all the people watching from home?
Go Navy.
Fair enough. Yeah, thank you for stepping in again. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And a fun interview that we were able to have there with, that was... it
was Quill.
Quill, right. Sorry,
yeah.
My brain is starting to fade.
Chill.
But a great match, ultimately, from Goats and Glory. From what I'm seeing in the chat, it does look as though Manchester and
Goats are going to be stepping right back in, yeah.
Getting into this next match, lickety split, most likely. We are going to be taking another very quick break. It shouldn't take too long. We will be right back after this quick break.